So, hello and welcome to another episode of Keiara's Tech Adventures. Today I'll be doing a review of what my Razer laptop is like now after having it for a year. So, the overall looks of the laptop haven't really changed that much. There is like maybe one or two little tiny scuffs on the metal that you can see. So I have been taking care of this laptop somewhat well. There is still dust on it and whatnot, but it was in a sleeve most of the time, so when I wasn't using it, it was pretty much always in the sleeve. If I took it out anywhere when it was in my bag, it would be in a sleeve. But obviously accidents can happen, and like one or two things have dropped on my laptop to make these little scuffs. But overall, it has actually held up really well. I mean, it's like the metal still is a fingerprint magnet, but that's easily still wet, like you can just wipe it off as normal. Like I thought that this very like delicate looking metal would be a lot more harder to maintain, and it has stood up well for the test of me having it over a year. So the performance of the laptop, I haven't had any issues with the laptop so far. Any game that I've been running on it at 1080p on the screen has been completely fine. I've always hit solid 60 even on ultra settings in a lot of games, and it's been completely fine. So the 512 gig SSD that this is the model that I got, did fill up quite fast. I mean, a lot of people have probably noticed big games these days are freaking huge on your hard drive or SSD. They are so big, so it's kind of been alright for me, as I've been kind of just sticking to one or two games at a time. So any games that I'm not using, I can easily just uninstall and I'll just forget about it. But for people who constantly dart between games, this can be a bit of an issue, and maybe you'd need to look into maybe getting a higher model than the 512 one, or even looking to get an external hard drive to go with this, because as far as I know, this particular model, which is now obviously the Razer Blade 15, still does not come with a hard drive. I might need to double check on that though. But this series of models that I got, there wasn't an option to get a hard drive put into it either. So the keyboard and trackpad still look completely fine. Not really any scuffs on it. There is like dust and stuff on it, but they still work completely fine as well, even when there has been maybe some dust getting into the keyboard. I'm not going to name what range of laptops that can affect, but yeah, this has been completely fine. I haven't had any keys that get stuck or anything like that either. After this period of time of a year of using it, it has been completely fine. The battery, however, that's one thing on this laptop that I've been a bit iffy on. So I'm somewhat a casual user of this laptop, and I try to take care of the battery as best as I can. So usually when it gets to about 80%, I will take the charger out, and then when it gets to around 40, I'll put the charger back in, and then I'll just keep doing that over and over and over again. So even after around a year of doing this, mind you, I didn't do it all of the time. Maybe like 70% of the time I'd do that. But even after a year of doing that, the battery still has about 20 to 30% wear on it, according to the battery bar app that I use. Now, I'm not completely sure how this measures up to other laptop batteries, as I haven't really done this test on any other laptop. Unfortunately, I don't have any other laptops to try this on, but it still kind of saddens me to have that much of the battery worn out at this stage, at the year mark. Now, maybe it will only go down a little tiny bit more when it hits the 2-year mark, but to me, 20 to 30% still seems quite a lot. This has made me especially worried, since I have been probably a lot more careful than the average user of this laptop, so that might be something that you might need to keep in mind. So on another note, the dbrand skin on this laptop still is completely fine, hasn't started peeling anywhere. It still looks as great as the day that I put it on. So overall, I think this laptop was actually worth it for me. Like, I'm still pretty sad about the battery, but honestly, I don't really take my laptop around with me very much. I'm usually at home where I can just plug it in. So maybe if you take your laptop around with you quite a lot and you don't have access to like a plug all the time, you might need to keep this in mind. But honestly, gaming laptops in general do need a lot of juice, and this is definitely. So overall, I am still very happy with this laptop. I think it was definitely worth it to me. I am still pretty sad about the battery, but honestly, gaming laptops like this, they do use up a lot of juice. So if you're taking it around with you, I'm not sure if it's worth it a lot unless you have like a power bank, or you're pretty sure that you're not like gonna use it for more than a couple of hours at least. But honestly, I mostly use mine at home anyway, so I have no issues just plugging it in and getting on with my day. So I hope you liked this video, and as in my last video, please let me know if there is anything different about the quality of this video, because I am using my iPhone again and I'm just seeing what it is like to do videos on. Also, I would still like more questions for an upcoming Q&A video that I would like to do, so anything tech related questions that you've got for me, please drop them down in the comments below. And if you like this video, give it a like. If you want to see more videos like this, give me a subscribe, and I will see you guys next time. Bye.